I just took one of Honda's smallest displacement cruisers and turned it into something that shouldn't even exist in nature. My team of crack scientists and I here have modified a factory neuter 600cc V-twin cruiser and turned it into what we can only hope is an insanely capable desert race machine.
Slow down, stop.
Today, we are pushing it through one of the harshest environments in the world, the Mojave Desert, to find out if we can do better than Honda, which obviously we can in this environment, where the sun is blazing, the wind is blowing, and there's dead animals everywhere. There were some over there, it's like bones. I'll show you later. So, we're gonna see if we can give this diminutive displacement cruiser a swift kick in the ass. But we are up against a very serious challenge because while this cruiser checks almost all the proverbial boxes, it's affordable, reliable, simple, and oh so sexy, we are limited by its relatively small displacement engine, which leaves everyone with blue balls in the performance area. And I was no different when I first bought the bike. But I've been working on engineering a system that maximizes the power of this bike for over 20 minutes, and I'm already exhausted. Does anyone have a Perrier and a warm croissant? So what's the bike? It's a 2007 Honda Shadow VT600, also known as the VLX 600, the very last year of its legendary 19 years of production. And this bike wins in nearly every category except power. This is why I developed and built what I call the Brutal Max Performance Kit for the VT600, to juice the absolute maximum performance out of this bike. Now, in addition to limitation of displacement, we didn't have the budget for fancy Olin suspension, so we will be pushing this bike hard as with a hardtailed frame and one of the most antiquated front-end suspensions, a Springer, founded on a swab meet blanket next to a soiled bathrobe and a toilet brush. Now, if you'd like for me to stop using total pieces of shit on these bikes, click the like button. Helps channel out a ton.
And now for something completely different.
We'll speed test the machine before it is cleared for the racetrack. I'm totally kidding. Our motto here at TJ Brutal Customs is to do fun shit faster. And safety really slows things down, so we definitely don't do that. We just sort of set up some cones and, we wish the rider good luck and say a prayer. But after sitting on the bike for a few seconds, here's what I noticed. All right, it's got a sketchy front end with even sketchier front wheel. You hit a rock or something or a pothole earlier. The wheel is not centered in the forks. That's wonderful. Also, the wheel is now shaped like a taco, so it does not roll straight. Forward, never straight. I have my doubts about this. I don't think this is going to go well. Let's turn it. But first, our racer must spin the giant wheel of bad decisions. Let me know in the comments if there's a bad decision we should add to the wheel. Give her a spin, Ricky. Oh, look, it's a unicorn horn. Ready to be shot out of a rocket. Now, the unicorn horn here has absolutely nothing to do with anything except absolute sheer stupidity. But it might actually make him more aerodynamic by reducing drag. As we all know, unicorns are highly aerodynamic. I guess we're about to find out. Now, since we're going to be pushing this bike as hard as possible at wide open throttle and absolutely no front brake, we may only get one shot at this. My biggest concerns are actually not the bike, but the rider's ability to navigate these massive tire ruts at high speeds. Now, the rider is a professional racer, so please don't try this at home. Let's see just how fast this little bike can go with wide open intake and exhaust and a masterful tuning upgrade. Oh, and it was too hot for a jacket or safety gear, so we had to remove those too. Shit. Holy, that was hot off the friggin' line. I cannot believe a Honda Shadow 600 just did that. What? An unbelievable top speed on dirt of no less than 109 miles an hour on the radar gun. All right, that was freaking crazy, but now we need to see how this bike performs against a bike that has a bigger set of jugs, aka bigger displacement. All right, bring the 750 over, guys. We're about to race the VT600 against a bone-stock Honda Shadow VT750, a notably larger displacement bike that on all accounts should be much faster. But after what I just saw, it's very possible that a souped-up 600 might stand a chance against the 750, but there's only one way to find out. Let him rip. Holy hell, the hardtail 600 burned out while the 750 suspension absorbed a lot of that off-line power. I cannot believe these guys are just wearing sunglasses with the amount of flying rocks and dust. Maybe we should have given these guys goggles. Whoa, 80, 90, 100. The 750 is closing in. Oh, they're getting kind of close to each other. Holy freaking dude, the 600 is keeping up with the 750. Easy, that's rad. We came here to find out just how hard a Honda Shadow VT600 could be pushed by squeezing every last bit of performance out of it. And wow, that was intensely sexual. just look at my nipples. Now the 750 ultimately beat the 600 as it clearly just has more top-end room due to larger displacement, but not by much. The thing that surprised me the most is how the 600 came off the line slightly faster than the 750, and it held pace for a good chunk of time. Now I know there are variables like rider skill, rider weight, suspension differences, and gearing, but overall, I think the 600 performed insanely well. The Honda Shadow 600 truly is an example of one of the most reliable and easy to modify cruisers out there that are just waiting to have their full potential tapped into. Now I think it was really awesome getting to see one of my own bikes pitted against the elements and racers, and I actually don't have to go on anything. But that's not how I went for the Harley. Oops. Now, if you guys want to see the Brutal team do more brutal stuff on motorcycles in a place like this, hit that subscribe button. Peace.